Hello and welcome to TV1 News. I'm Carol Kidu Jr. In this edition, future political plans include a new party, Daga Coffee sets sail for Europe, and NFS to host PNG's inaugural NRL match. A massive 214.5 billion kina has passed through the government budgets over the last 12 years without any proper mechanism to monitor and evaluate the use of these funds. Prime Minister James Marape pointed this out during the launch of the National Monitoring and Coordination Authority last night, reinforcing the importance of having this new agency in place to monitor and scrutinize the use of government funds.
With the nation at the threshold of its 50th independence anniversary, Prime Minister James Marape raised concerns about how huge budgets have been passed in the last 12 years, but no data in the government records to justify this spending.
From 2013 to 2018, our total 6-year budgets under the past government was 83.5 billion kina. 2019 to 2024, last 6 years under the Pangwe administration, the collective 6 years spent was at 131 billion kina. All in all, the last 12 years, 214 or 215 billion kina has passed through previous treasurers and current treasurers' hand, and under the last two prime ministers that have set this country. Now I speak from this background of executive government, not knowing exactly what has happened on the ground. Statistics are weak, and the results that we have delivered is not really clearly evident. And number one, number two, the requirement of our public finance reporting is really poor and not up to standard.
He said despite these budgets, countless strategies and plans, results have not been tangible, and the monitoring and evaluation system of the government needs an overhaul. With his reign to last until 2027, making him the second longest-serving Prime Minister after Sir Michael Somare, he does not want to reinvent the wheels. Instead, his cabinet has created a National Monitoring and Coordination Authority to ensure the good use of government funds in the years going forward.
And so it is guilt written over me, and should be all of us, if we do not know what is happening to the public funds that has passed through. Okay. And so NMCA comes in to fill in these gaps that remain amidst us. Budgets must align to plans. Plans must be implemented as approved. Loose ends must be closed so that every program is delivering on expected outcomes that was envisaged right from the start.
One of his government's agenda has been to grow the economy, and he says he does not want this effort to be wasted through corrupt practices, hence NMCA is vital to monitor and scrutinize government projects. Ruth Rungala, TV1 News.
Book-belong Pikanini students from Hagara Library Learning Centre had an unforgettable book week adventure at Hastings Deering in Hohola. The visit inspired by the reader "When I Grow Up, I Want to Be a Heavy Equipment Operator" began with a warm welcome from Pacific Islands Executive Manager John Hendry and his team. Dressed in safety gear, the children experienced hands-on activities, including operating a CAT simulator, using a control board, touring the warehouse and visiting the workshop to see the giant tools used by diesel fitters and engineers. The highlight was standing beside the massive CAT wheel loader 993K with tires weighing over 5 tons. The day ended with cake, refreshments and plenty of smiles. The Melanesian Institute for Pastoral and Economic Services based in Goroka has been a major driver of sorcery accusation-related violence, mostly in the Highlands region in Papua New Guinea, for several years. It is using community forums, educational campaigns and workshops to equip youth and community members with the tools for evidence-based thinking, challenging unverified beliefs.
The Melanesian Institute, in partnership with law enforcement agencies, educational institutions, religious organizations, and local leaders, is now leading a new initiative in addressing deeply ingrained beliefs about sorcery that have led to violence, particularly against women in Papua New Guinea. The initiative seeks to create a more informed and resilient society. Accusations of sorcery, often based on superstition, have affected women, making them targets of violence and discrimination. The Melanesian Institute staff were in Yonki, Eastern Highlands Province, recently, starting the initiative with a series of workshops in the districts of Kainantu and Goroka from August 4 to 6. The program aims to foster critical thinking and constructive dialogue throughout the Highlands region to countering violence linked to these allegations and reinforcing human rights. Religious leaders are also playing a vital role by promoting messages of compassion over fear to transform public perceptions. The success of the program could serve as a model for other regions facing similar challenges. Rita Kana, TVWAN News.
Provincial member for East Sepik Alan Bird announced on social media on Wednesday that he will contest the national general elections one last time in 2027. Governor Bird's announcement certainly brings mixed emotions. He has been a vocal and no-nonsense member of parliament over the past 8 years. He has been an MP. Bird stated he has accomplished his goal as a member of parliament, sat down with TV1 News reporter Jasmine Irajak this morning for a chat about his decision to run for office in 2027 and future plans in politics.
In 2017, provincial member for East Sepik Alan Bird became a member of parliament for the first time and continues to serve the people of East Sepik 8 years running. While he has initially said 10 years was enough time to serve the people of East Sepik, it seems the governor has had a change of heart because of more than 127,414 people. This morning he shared more on that decision and his future plans in politics.
When you set out to achieve something, and when you achieve it, you move on. Look, human beings get lazy. It's just in our nature. Human beings also get comfortable. It's in our nature. You don't keep banging your head against a rock. If you're just going to bleed to death, And but the thing also with me is that I've got a corporate background. I'm the sort of person that can start a business today, and in 7 years' time, it will be flourishing because I've done it many times. So, I still want to do that. There's a few things I want to do, which will be, for me, I'm not going to go and relax and rest on my laurels. And I think it's going to impact a lot of people.
After close consultation with key supporters in the Sepik and around the country, Governor Bird decided to concede and run his last election.
So whilst, it hasn't impacted 100% of Sepiks, and, that's a big ask, I think it's impacted the majority of Sepiks. And so I felt that okay, I'm what Bloomy Penis now. What else am I going to do? Am I going to waste my time in parliament talking to people who don't understand what it is I'm trying to say? People who get upset with me for saying the things I'm saying, I should be spending my time in more productive pursuits, you know what I mean? And so that's the way I was thinking. But then, and I get this a lot when I meet Papua New Guineans, and even when I was back home in Sepik and, just going up to some of our villages, opening a little health center or just meeting people, and they're all saying, look, you can't leave. You can't abandon us. And then they start crying. And so I'm like, oh my God, so you stop and you start to think again. I guess if we're not making other people's lives better, then, what's the point of us being here?
Bird shared that he's joining a new party now with young, like-minded MPs.
With the call now for me to, I guess, a lot of people are saying I should try and put my hand up for Prime Minister by leading a party. So I'm joining I like the underdog. All my life I've been fighting for the little guy. So, and even though the first party I ever joined was Pangu. And when nobody else was in Pangu, I was one of the ones. I'm still a life member of Pangu Party. It's now a large organization. I think it's lost its way. It doesn't know what it's doing. And I think because a lot of the people that are in there are not really Pangu, they just joined because it's a big party. So I'm joining a small party. There's 2 members of parliament in there currently. So I don't want to reinvent the wheel, And they've got, you look for like-minded people, and they've got a good organization. The 2 MPs are young, which is good because then I get to mentor them. Because I intend to exit in 2032. I really don't want to stay in politics because it's really nasty business. Papua New Guinean politics is cutthroat.
An announcement will be made once formalities are completed at the end of this month. In the meantime, Governor Bird has made a call for better leadership to move the country forward. Jasmine Irojak, TVWAN News.
A change in the game is to be expected from the new political party that Mr. Bird will be joining. He confirmed it will be different to other political parties. The organization will be managed online.
For me, by 2022, I'm going to go out. Hopefully, we change the culture. I mean, one of the things we want to do, and with the new political party, because the members are young, even the executives are young, they're smart young Papua New Guineans. And so a lot of my suggestions they've agreed to, which you won't get in a large party. The large party is already set in its ways. They don't want to change. So for instance, one of the things we've done is we've paid for some very smart young Papua New Guineans to develop for us an online application. So, I always preach about transparency and good government. So if I'm going to be part of a political party, I want that organization to be transparent and accountable. It starts there. So the app is already developed. So, for example, I expect if someone wants to join our political party, they can pick up a telephone and go online, become a member, take their photo, load up their details, and it's going to be totally private. One of the problems with PNG politics is that after you vote for the member of parliament, you have no control over this member of parliament or what he does. I'm like Blame now, We are trying to create something different. And this is where I said, being part of a new party, they're open to new ideas. So I said, if we're going to vote on a bill in parliament and we have, say, 1 million members online, what we want to do is get the bill, put it onto the site and say to all our members, have a look and tell us what you think. Should we support it or should we not support it?
You're watching TVWAN News. After the break, Governor Bird calls for respect among members of parliament and city residents concerned about safety as NCDC carries on with Roadworks ahead of 50th independence celebrations. Welcome back. Provincial member for East Sepik Alan Bird has called on young parliamentary colleagues in the opposition to have a clear mind and respect the current leadership in the opposition. Bird made this call after a tussle between current Leader of Opposition Douglas Tumuriesa and Chuave MP James Nomane over the leadership role.
Provincial member for East Sepik Alan Bird has urged his younger colleagues in the opposition to approach their roles with clarity and respect for the established leadership. His comments come in the wake of a dispute over their leadership position within the opposition, particularly between current leader of opposition Douglas Tomuriesa and the member for Tuave James Domane. Baird emphasized during the interview with TV1 News Today the importance of unity and collaboration within the opposition, especially during times of political tension.
Tomuresa was probably learning, but like I said, he didn't do anything that would make me want to replace him, in my view. Young Nomane does a lot of work himself. He doesn't let other people do work, which is probably a good thing for him because he operates pretty much as a one-man show, and that's his style. It doesn't suit me because I like to give space to other people, and I think if you're very radical and if you're you need a steady leader, an opposition leader that gives you space. Because if you're going to be the opposition leader and you do all the work yourself, what's the point of having the others in the team, So that's my point of view.
He fed a caution against internal conflicts that could undermine their collective efforts to provide effective oversight and alternative policies to the government. His call for respect highlights the need for experienced members to mentor younger politicians, helping them navigate the complexities of governance and political dynamics.
I have great respect for young Nomane. I think he's extremely talented, him and Iduhu. I've told them to their faces, they're very talented, I like them. But I think they have to learn patience too, and they have to learn to give space to other people to shine as well. So it's something that they'll learn over time, but right now I think young Nomane is a very angry member of parliament, and I understand that. I came in 2017, I was a very angry member of parliament, so I understand what he's going through. He's dealing with it in a way that I wouldn't be dealing with it, but he's a different human being and we respect him for that, and different leader, and he's got a different style. So we just see how it happens. At the moment I think we're split into two groups, which is understandable. But it doesn't mean we are going to be any less effective. We're still going to turn up on the floor of Parliament, and we're still going to hold the government accountable.
As the opposition navigates these leadership challenges, it will be crucial for its members to focus on their shared goals and responsibilities rather than personal ambitions. Mr. Bed's appeal serves as a reminder of the importance of solidarity within political ranks, which can ultimately impact their efficiency in representing the interest of their constituents. Freddie Moe, TV1 News.
Port Moresby motorists and residents were advised on August 6th via NCDC's social media page City Sivarai of the upcoming road maintenance works across the city ahead of PNG's 50th independence anniversary in September. The city authority said that the works are crucial to ensure roads remain safe and operational for commuters. However, these maintenance works have sparked concerns by commuters, including lack of clear schedules for the work. On August 6th, Port Moresby motorists and residents were advised of upcoming road maintenance works across the city ahead of PNG's 50th independence anniversary in September. The National Capital District Commission says the works are crucial to ensure roads remain safe and operational for commuters. The maintenance is underway, and as mentioned in the post by NCD, it will affect major four-lane arterial roads including Wagani Drive, Tarama Street, Boroko Drive, Hubert Murray Highway, Paraparana Freeway and Sir John Guy's Drive. Residents have voiced concerns on social media about traffic delays, congestion and lack of clear schedules for the works. Commuters specifically raised frustration over the Kora Way to Freeway Tunnel closure. Some have suggested roadworks be undertaken during off-peak hours or weekends. Others highlighted safety concerns like PNV buses running on footpaths endangering lives of pedestrians. Works have been taking place both day and at night, with temporary traffic disruptions that were expected. The public is urged to adhere to road signage, construction zones, and traffic management setups. Attempts to get a response from City Manager Ravu Frank to share completion dates for the roadworks were unsuccessful. The Special Economic Zone Authority has addressed statements made by the Central Province Governor regarding the Caution Bay SEZ project. SEZA states that the development is lawful, community-focused and not associated with the controversial Konebada Petroleum Park. SEZA emphasized that the industrial park developed by Kumul Petroleum Holdings Limited or KPHL is located entirely on state land and has no legal or operational ties to the Konebada Petroleum Park. The authority also refuted claims of inadequate consultation, stating that ongoing engagement has occurred with landowner representatives and relevant state agencies. Grey Cafe Trading has successfully shipped 5 tons of Daga coffee from Milne Bay, PNG to the Republic of Estonia, a country in Northern Europe. The first shipment, which departed late today aboard the Hapag-Lloyd vessel, marks a significant achievement for local coffee farmers and the region's coffee industry. Grey Cafe Trading founder and general manager Graydon Puinam announced that the process shipping 5 tons of Daga coffee from PNG to the Republic of Estonia took 6 months, involving the meticulous transport of beans from the hinterlands to the international marketplace. The coffee beans were handpicked and transported through a complex logistical journey, highlighting the dedication and hard work of the farmers. Despite facing challenges including limited road access and the need for chartered flights, the shipment represents both personal sacrifices and the collective effort of the Daga coffee community. Puinam emphasized the importance of this export in showcasing Daga coffee on a global stage, stating it's not just about money, it's about discovering Daga coffee through their partnership with Estonia. In Estonia, Heinz Sapu of Renegade Coffee eagerly anticipates marketing the Daga coffee under his brand, bringing a taste of Papua New Guinea to Europe. This first historic shipment not only promotes local agriculture but also helps put Milne Bay on the global coffee map. The success of this venture reflects the potential for growth within the region's coffee industry, paving the way for future exports and collaborations. The Department of Transport launched the Medium-Term Transport Plan 3, 2023 to 2027 today in Port Moresby. This strategic plan was put together with support of the sector agencies, key stakeholders and development partners.
Minister for Works and Highways Solan Mirisim, representing Minister for Transport and the Prime Minister, launched the Department of Transport Medium-Term Transport Plan 3, 2023 to 2027 in Port Moresby today. Minister Mirisim thanked all involved in putting the plan together.
The MTDP3 is our government's implementation roadmap to build a safe, inclusive, climate resilient and integrated transport system. Whether by road, by sea or air, MTDP3 provides the direction for a transport system that reaches all Papua New Guineans, no matter where we live. Importantly, under this plan, we will continue to prioritize gender equality, disability and social inclusion in the development and delivery of transport programs so that all Papua New Guineans can ultimately benefit from our transport planning.
Secretary for Transport Matthew Wawani said the challenging geographical environment, including mountainous regions and low swampy plains, pose significant land transport connectivity issues. PNG also consists of 4 major islands and over 600 other smaller islands, sparsely covering 9,980 square kilometers of water, presenting a serious transport development challenge for the government of Papua New Guinea. However, there is hope in this 4-year plan. Minister Mirisim concluded that The MTTP3 has a role in connecting the nation through projects such as Connect PNG and other interventions contained in the MTDP3, which are crucial for facilitating the economic activities and improving mobility and access to services. Prida Khanna, TV1 News.
And now a look at the finance news. The Kina closed lower at $0.2407 in the interbank market. A Bank South Pacific, our Kina was buying $0.2332 $0.3535 Australian dollars, $0.1911 euro, and 34.00 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold and coffee closed higher, cocoa, palm oil, crude oil, and copper closed lower, and copper closed the day unchanged. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. You're watching TV1 News. We'll have more stories after the break. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. The 2025 PNG Golf Open officially teed off today at the Royal Port Moresby Golf Course, featuring a massive lineup of 120 international professional golfers from Europe, the United States, Australia, and Papua New Guinea. This year's tournament holds a special significance as it coincides with the country's 50th Golden Jubilee Independence celebrations. In his opening remarks, Prime Minister James Marape highlighted the vibe created by the presence of international golfers. Among the participants are 7 professional female golfers and 20 local golfers from across the country, including a significant number of young female athletes. Marape encouraged young PNGians to consider golf as a viable pathway to professional development.
A pool of professional golfers worldwide coming in. About 12 from US, different states in US, a couple from Europe, Japan, South Korea, China, Malaysia, Philippines, Fiji, and then Australia and New Zealand. So we got 120 professional male golfers and 7 professional female golfers. We also playing with 20 of our best local players from across the country, and 8 of our PNG, young PNG girls from across the country, one coming from Bubal, one from Bululo, Lei. Golf is professional golf can be carried also for young people. We also want our young who are talented to get into professional golfing sports, just like professional rugby.
Amid ongoing discussions regarding the permanent home ground for the PNG NRL franchise, CEO Andrew Hill has confirmed that the team's inaugural match will take place at the Santos National Football Stadium in Port Moresby. This decision follows initial plans that considered the Sir Hubert Murray Stadium as a potential home ground.
The Santos National Football Stadium will host the inaugural match for the PNG NRL franchise. Franchise CEO Andrew Hill put to rest speculation surrounding securing a permanent home ground for the new PNG franchise.
The view of working with government on alternate stadium, we'll continue to have that discussion. But just to be clear, round 1 and our first season is being played here at the NFS. There is a deadline, and that's in March 2028 when we're playing our first home game here.
During the announcement, Hill also provided insights into the ambitious plans for a world-class centre of excellence in Port Moresby. He emphasised that this facility would play a crucial role in attracting talent and visitors to the franchise.
I think once we build it, most people will be surprised at the scale and how good it is. We will have a facility here that will be second to none. And the importance of that facility is that for rugby league players and rugby league staff, it's the one thing that attracts people.
He noted, highlighting the facility's potential impact on the growth and development of rugby league in the region. In other developments, Hill revealed that the PNG NRL franchise board is now calling for expressions of interest from companies as part of the bidding process for the Centre of Excellence. Hill reported an overwhelming response.
Expressions of interest. We have tens of companies who have registered an interest.
The high level of engagement is encouraging and the selection process is underway. Hill is confident that a shortlist will be created shortly, paving the way for contract awards and rapid progress on construction. Acknowledging the financial scope of such a project, Hill emphasized that the Centre of Excellence is a significant investment for the franchise. Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
Passionate rugby league supporter and PNG NRL franchise board member Lorna McPherson is rallying support for the National Rugby League dreams of Papua New Guinea. She is backing Prime Minister James Marape's initiative to encourage all Papua New Guineans to take part in the Name Your Team competition through the newly launched website www.yourteamnamehere.com.
The unveiling of the Name Your Team website coincides with the broader Name Your Team campaign, officially launched by Prime Minister James Marape and Australian High Commissioner to PNG, His Excellency Evan McDonald. This initiative aims to engage the public in the exciting journey to naming a new rugby league team that represents the spirit and aspirations of Papua New Guinea. After activating the new website, McPherson expressed confidence and optimism about the overwhelming support for the Name Your Team campaign.
The fact that we have one team and one country, and we want everybody to be part of naming the team so that we go on that journey together as well, because when you unite, it will really make a difference to everybody. So as it says here, it's like, let's put the name on here, and that's why it says your team name here is to put our own team name here in a few weeks or months' time once we get there and we're all aligned with the name of the team. So
her message highlights the importance of community involvement in shaping the new franchise as one team, one country. By submitting team names, the campaign fosters a sense of ownership, pride, and unity among supporters.
Your vote, your time to give us your opinion, your time to name, as PM said. So,
as the campaign progresses, the involvement of Papua New Guineans will be crucial in building a strong and vibrant rugby league culture in the country. Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
Australia has coasted into the semi-finals of the Asian Cup with an 84-60 victory over the Philippines in an incident-free clash devoid of any drama after their spiteful encounter 7 years ago. The infamous basketball in Bokawe in 2018 made headlines around the globe for all the wrong reasons. But there were no such incidents at the more serene King Abdullah Sports City in Jeddah on Wednesday night. Australia will next meet Iran for a place in the final after they defeated Chinese Taipei 78-75, while in the other semi-final, the winner of China-South Korea will meet the victor of New Zealand and Lebanon. In NRL, 10 months on from their epic showdown in the 2024 Grand Final, the Panthers and Storm square off in what many predict will be a preview of this year's decider. On the back of 9 straight wins, the Panthers have risen from last on the ladder to 4th to make it abundantly clear that a 5th consecutive title is still very much on the cards.
With matches against the Storm, Raiders and Bulldogs in the next 3 weeks, the Premiers will get a stern test of their credentials as they head into another final series. The Storm have gone about their business in typically professional fashion, sitting inside the top 4 the entire season and looking every inch a contender to the Premier's crown. After the shock of losing star half Jerome Hughes to a shoulder injury in round 21, they have regrouped to win their next 2 matches and continue building momentum towards September. Panthers coach Ivan Cleary goes with the same 17 that rolled the Knights to make it 9 wins in a row for the Premiers. Skipper Isai Yeo remains sidelined with a shoulder injury. No changes in Wednesday's 24-hour update with Paul Alamoti, the 18th man. A blow for the Storm with star fullback Ryan Heppenhausen sidelined, so Nick Minnie slides into fullback and Marion Seve comes into the centers for his first NRL game since round 4. The forward pack and the bench remain unchanged from last week's win over the Broncos. Nelson Asofa Solomona was listed among the reserves after playing the Queensland Cup last week, but dropped out on Wednesday when the squad was trimmed to 19. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
And that's all we have for sports. Now for the weather report. Southern region, Port Moresby, partly cloudy with possibility of few showers. Kerma, cloudy periods with few showers and possible thunderstorms. Umase, Lade, partly cloudy with few evening showers and possible thunderstorm. Wewak, partly cloudy with few rain showers. New Guinea Islands, Lorengau, partly cloudy with few rain showers. Kokopo and Rabaul, partly cloudy with few showers then rain. Highlands, Mount Hagen, cloudy periods with possible rain showers and thunderstorms. Goroka, Jiwaka and Kundiawa, cloudy periods with rain showers and thunderstorms. Oceans forecast. Coral Sea, seas rough with southeast winds of 25 to 33 knots. Solomon Sea, seas moderate to patches rough with easterly to southeast to winds of 10 to 20 knots reaching 25 to 33 knots. Bismarck Sea, seas slight with east to southeast winds of 10 to 15 knots. Pacific Ocean, seas slight with easterly to northeast winds of 5 to 15 knots. Coastal waters, waters of southern PNG and Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Island, to Kerma to Yule Island to Port Moresby to Hood Point to Samarai Islands, and waters of Samarai Island to Cape Vogel and Olmilin Bay Islands, seas 1.5 to 2 meters, rising to 3 meters along warning areas. Waters north of Cape Vogel to Huon Gulf to Finchafen, seas 1 to 2 meters, rising to 3 meters along warning areas. Waters of East and West New Britain, seas 1 to 2 meters, reaching 3 meters along western parts of West New Britain. And that ends another edition of TV1 News. Thanks for your company. Good night.